Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the messy desk. Actually, this is quite tidy. I thought I'd just leave it like this because it is like this. So first of all, this is the introduction or the first part of the next recreated 1920s art project vlog. But I'm also working on a kind of tutorial, so I've got that here. I'm working on one class, part of that there is over there, then preparing another class which is here, and yes, and now starting the vlog, so I'll try and do a bit of all of that today, so that's why everything is here. So for February, I've decided to go for something that is slightly different. I think I might have mentioned that. And it's a collage. And it's by the DADA artist Hannah Hoech. And the collage is called Das schoene Maedchen, which means the beautiful girl. And obviously I'm going to put kind of I'm going to put the picture into this vlog probably now so that you can see it. So let's just very quickly talk about this. I am a big fan of the Dada art, and I was thinking about maybe telling you a little bit about it, but I think I'll just leave a link below if you would like to find out more about Dada and also more about Hannah Hoech, because I feel otherwise these videos are just going to be too long. And I suppose if you were interested in finding out more about the artists, or you know, depending on who the model is, then you can always do it, so the videos don't get too long. So anyway, I found this, and this was made in 1920, and I really like it, so that was perfect. I have to think again because I've done parts of the vlog already, so I have to try and remember which parts I've done, which parts I haven't, so I don't say everything like 3 to 500,000 times. Yes, so the idea is to recreate all the different parts of the collage, and I'm going to do a part where I'm talking through all the different parts that are on the collage in a second, because I've already done that part of the vlog, so you'll see that in a moment. In a way, so I'm not going to just kind of cut out the bits of the collage that are already in here and then create a new one. I will have to find ways of recreating this collage kind of as accurately as possible, but again with as I've done all the others, without kind of like going over the top or just thinking of how I could recreate them. So I thought I'll just very quickly go over the details that I will have to work with in this collage, because what I really want to do is obviously create a collage. Now with that I mean like a real collage. I don't want to do it like in a digital way. I want to have all the bits and pieces and glue them together as Hannah Hoech would have done. So if you just have sort of like a quick look at the collage. So you might think, so where on earth am I going to put myself in? But what I thought was really brilliant, you can see there are 3 women in here. You've got, one is just basically hair, then you've got the head over here, and then you've got this lovely little figure sitting here in a vintage bathing suit with a parasol. You can't see her face because we've got this light bulb. So what I can do is take photographs of me, you know, with the hair and kind of like this and this, so that would be me in the picture, and kind of like recreate roughly what I can see here. Then we've got this figure here, and I found it really tricky to work out what it is. It seems to be a person kind of with boxing gloves, but yeah, and a face, but it's all kind of like more like a shadowy figure really. So I have to admit that in this case I went online and tried to do a little bit more research and also try to find different versions of this image online, because depending on how the photograph was taken you can see it like see it in different colors, and some it's maybe a bit clearer. So apparently this could be a boxer, so I'll be looking for vintage images of boxers to use. Then obviously we've got a tire here, which is, I assume, the tire of a, you know, this is 1920, so cars have different tires, possibly a motorcycle tires. I have to find something. There you can see the BMW logo. So I need to find something like that and then just have it in different sizes. Then obviously a light bulb. Then, oh yes, the hand. I forgot the hand. So I'll take a photograph of my hand like that. Then a little pocket watch. Then this part looks like it could have been from a motoring magazine. It's upside down. I have to figure out if this is probably a cat's eye. Maybe I'll do some googling of different eyes and just see what looks most like this, because you could see her, like her eye here, but this is obviously a different eye. Then we've got some grey background, and then we've got this fantastic construction here with all the kind of the bolts and everything. So that is going to be quite interesting to do. Then she is sitting on something, and then we've got this underneath, which, you know, we can't really see 100% what it was, and this little part that comes sticking out. So those are all the details that I'm going to need, apart from obviously the background, and I'm already thinking about most probably I'll be using one of my coffee dyed papers for that, because it would just work perfectly. So yeah, that's what I have got to look for. So now, coming back from that, I have already done the 2 hair photographs, and those are going to be in the second part of the vlog, I think, because otherwise the first part is going to be too long. And I've been meaning to edit them, because you can actually see what I thought I'd try is film myself where I'm trying to redo the hair. And when I started editing them yesterday, and I'm really sorry, but I just felt you would have to endure the whole trying to do the hair thing, because kind of like this is different from the other 2 vlogs or the other 2 recreations, because I'm kind of modeling in these, but in a different way. So whereas with, especially with the last one, with the Georgia O'Keeffe photograph, it was very much very much connecting with Georgia O'Keeffe and the photographer in a completely different way, in a kind of like a model artist way, from kind of like, but taken from my point of view. And again with the first one, it was a completely different kind of feel to it, but it was again like this artist model scenario that I was able to live through, experience through, even though it's my kind of like my own experience of how I was reacting to them. Whereas with this one, it's not, Hannah Hoech hasn't got a model. She is using magazines to, she was using magazines and Cats images out of magazines to create her collage. So it's a very, very different, experience doing this. I've already done all the other photographs as well. So I've done I've done, yeah, not only the hair, I've done the hand, and I've done the woman in the bathing suit, which reminds me I have to show you the bathing suit I've used. But it was totally different. It was not like, I didn't feel like I was a model being photographed. It was very much like, it's really hard to describe. It was really just about trying to get to look as much as her as possible, trying to get the parasol into the photograph, kind of think about the angle of my phone, or or the camera, and where would I sit. I've got, I need to show you the I've got a cupboard over there which is perfect. I've used that for so many things where I just need to sit on somewhere, but that's covered in stuff. So but I'll take a quick I'll film that for you anyway, so you know where I've been doing that. But it's a very, very different feel. For this one, it's really a lot more about looking at the individual bits and pieces that make up the collage, and then thinking about how I could recreate them, or find images, like images of vintage car tires that have been photographed in roughly the same angle, then trying to work out what this figure is. And actually now I'm thinking maybe I should have tried to recreate that as well, rather than find a boxer. So I need to think about that one, because that would be, that would be fun if I was all the people in the collage. But I've still got time to do that. Yes, it's a lot more about that, especially with all the nuts and bolts that are here. Kind of thinking about, okay, what is this? Can I find something like this on the internet, like the complete thing that I could then print out and cut out and use? And I've done a little bit of research. I've tried, I don't know what this thing is called, so I had to just make up things and try and look for it. And because that doesn't really work, and I think when I found the BMW sign, so I found, I don't think I've mentioned that, no. I found a photograph, because I've been looking up BMW logo, but obviously all the logos I found were just too clean, too modern, because logos, even though they're similar, they change over the years. So the font changes slightly, the colours change slightly, so there's a lot that has changed in there. And in a way, I also thought, am I going to keep the BMW? I think if it was a take on her work, I would have maybe found something else, because for example, I used to own a Morris Minor, so it would have been really lovely to use the Morris Minor logo. But then I had to remind myself that I'm not really doing a take on her work, but it's trying to recreate her work. So I thought for this one, I need to stick with the BMW sign, the logo, and yeah, I couldn't really find anything that I was happy with. So I even thought about maybe kind of like drawing one myself to use, and then I came across a photograph that was a photograph of an old logo, like the bit that is actually on the car, and it's quite rusty. Parts of the blue and white, I'll just call it, it's not enamel, but whatever it is, the paint has come off, and it's not at the right angle, so it's not just kind of, no, the photograph's taken from an angle, so it's not from the top. But there was something about it. It's definitely a vintage one. It's probably not exactly the same time, but when I saw that, kind of everything else kind of fell into place, and I'll try and explain what I mean. So the thing is, obviously when Hannah Hoech collected her images, they would have come from contemporary magazines and motoring magazines, and she was working on her message of how she felt about the society, about the role of women, then technology, and I mean, there are lots of interpretations on this image, and I know I'm trying not to do any research, but it was just when I was kind of looking for, because I've also been looking for different photographs taken of the original work, because you always get kind of like slightly different color shadings. It can help you to see more detail if you compare them, and then you can't help, you know, if it's a blog, that, you know, you can't help read a little bit kind of about it. So it was very contemporary, and I felt and it's, you know, if it's 1920, you know, it's 100 years ago, and finding this BMW logo that didn't look brand new but looked old kind of set the whole, you know, kind of like my theme to it. It's almost like everything, well, not everything, but a lot of the things in there, but 100 years later. So when I thought about using this logo, all of a sudden I thought, oh, hang on, I you know, I keep collecting everything, and I keep collecting kind of like little bits and pieces, like rusty nuts and bolts I find when I go out and when I'm out walking our dog in the field. And then I keep them because I always think, I'm sure I can use them for something in a collage or something. So how about I take photographs of all the bits and pieces that I've got that look similar to the bits and pieces that are here, without them, they're not clean, they're rusty, some of them still have some soil sticking on them, just as I found them. So have them just like that, then kind of like stacking them one on the other, kind of in a very similar way to the way it's, you know, you can see it on the image here, which means I would have to cut them out individually and stack them. I mean, that way, not like really stack the things and hope they don't fall over. And so that won't look new, it will look old. So yeah, I really like that. I have no idea if it's going to work out or not. I really hope it does. It kind of does. When I'm thinking about it, it does work, but we will see. But that's the idea. I've got another little snippet of film when I was actually taking photographs of all the little bits and pieces, and I'm also going to do a quick screenshot to kind of like show you how what I kind of like do next with them before I start putting them into a collage. What I'm trying to do at the moment, you can see that I've got all the little nuts and bolts I've been talking about, all the wonderful rusty little bits and pieces, and I'm trying to take photographs of them, kind of trying to get a similar angle to what they are like on the collage. I know I won't be able to, you know, get that done 100%, but that doesn't matter. It's kind of like more the idea. So I'm trying to work out how to do that. So I want to then be able to kind of like layer all of these kind of nuts and bolts. I wanted to take individual photographs of the ones I've got here, and because I haven't got this sort of, let's just call it a lever thing, I just thought, what do I have in my collection that might work? So I've got this, and I'm hoping to kind of with this get this slide angle that I can see in on the collage, and just try and recreate it, and then layer all the little bits and pieces together. At least that's the plan. So right now, this is my windowsill, and it's kind of like a really good light. It's overcast outside, but that means I don't get sort of direct sunlight, which is really good. And there's enough light for me to take the photographs. So I thought I'd just take this opportunity and try and take some photographs of all these fantastic objects. And then it occurred to me that I could just do a very quick vlog about that to keep you updated.